Laugh at the cringe, learn from the crumble. This is Cringe and Crumble. Welcome to the podcast where honesty meets humor and the messy parts of life finally get their spotlight. I'm your host, Tranisha, and here we dive into dating, friendships, healing, and all the awkward in-betweens. Because here's the truth. Growth isn't always pretty, but it's always real. So let's get into it. Why do we do this to ourselves? Girls' trips are supposed to be bonding, freeing, and unforgettable, but somehow they always become the fastest way to question every friendship you've ever had. Welcome to Hot Takes and Tan Lines, a Cringe and Crumble summer mini-series. Today I'm actually breaking down the glorious chaos of the girls' trip and the emotional roller coaster it always turns into. It always starts off the same way, a casual conversation on a night out that somehow turns into a group chat. At first, the trip is pure fantasy. Everyone's excited, everyone's agreeing, and everyone swears this is actually happening. For a minute, it actually feels easy. It feels real. But then you have that one friend who becomes the planner. She books the flights and locks in that Airbnb, and suddenly the trip is real. That's when the group chat stops being cute and starts getting dangerous because we're going places now. Now it's time to collect the money. Most people pay right away, but there's always that one friend who is mysteriously slow. There's always a friend who's in, but only halfway. There is also that silent observer who never says much, but somehow shows up anyway. And then there's that friend who sends her money instantly, like she has been waiting for this moment all her life. And once the trip moves from that group chat into real life, everything changes. The first day is always euphoric. You're at the destination, you love everybody, and suddenly every inconvenience feels like the most charming experience of your life. You eat, drink, party, sightsee, repeat. But then the honeymoon phase wears off fast, and then everybody starts revealing their true travel personalities. The planner becomes the schedule police. You have the sleepy friend that acts like 9 a.m. is a personal attack on her freedom. The friend who drinks too much and only wants to drink. The needy friend that needs constant attention. The boyfriend friend that disappears into FaceTime. And then that friend who's contributed absolutely nothing to planning, but suddenly has the strongest opinions about everything. And of course, there's always negative Betty in the mix. We can never forget her. Then comes dinner, which is usually where the real tension starts. Everybody's arguing over what they ate, what they drink, and why they definitely should not be splitting this bill evenly. One person had one appetizer, one drink, and suddenly wants a custom math lesson. None of the numbers make sense. The math just isn't mathing, and everyone is irritated. Nobody's resting, and it's just go, go, go. By the last day, the energy is gone, completely depleted. People are barely speaking. The planner is still trying to squeeze in that one last activity while everyone has literally checked out at least a full day ago. And at that point, everybody is ready to go home. Then departure day arrives, and the airport becomes the quietest place on earth. Everyone pretends not to see each other near the gate. The fake smiles come out one last time. This was so fun, gets said with zero soul behind it. And then the plane lands. Everybody hugs, kisses, and promises, we should definitely do this again. Now, there are girl trips that go smoothly, maybe 1%. But the older you get, the more you realize the best trips are in smaller groups. You cannot travel with a codependent friend. And everybody has to be living in the same financial reality. Because the hot take is, in the end, somebody always gets burned. Laugh at the cringe, learn from the crumble. This is Cringe and Crumble. Until next time.